Uh, Demon something? What the heck is that guy's name? I don't know. Some random guy is the referee. Demonarchy, there we go. Ah. Alright. So, man, it is hard to obs and cast. I forgot how hard this was. Ugh. Man, this is so much easier when you're sitting there just watching a VOD. I mean, I guess on the plus side, I don't have to worry about buffering or anything like that. Could you imagine if my StarCraft just buffers just to troll me? Oh, that'd be terrible. I don't even know if that's possible. That's a good question, by the way, Atomic Robot. What does SJ stand for? Does anybody know? I'm just going to assume it stands for Super Saiyan until somebody tells me otherwise, and then I'm still going to say it's Super Saiyan. SSJ would just be so much cooler. They really messed up. Who's the boss of SJ? Is it Mazur? Is it Hooligan? They need to change this. Mazur, can you fix this? Alright, anyway. Game number 3. In the bottom right, as the brown Zerg, we have SJ Napoleon. And in the bottom left is the purple Protoss. Another Protoss trying to take down Napoleon is going to be J-Star. Warlord thinks it is Samjock Gaming. People in the chat seem to agree. That doesn't really explain very much though. I don't know what Samjock is supposed to mean either. Is it some kind of Polish word or something? Anyway. J-Star. P7, Z5. He did not caps his name, right? Yeah. Anyway, looks like he's gonna do a Forge Fast Expand. Ooh, looks like he's gonna do the variation where he does Forge and then Gateway. Does that actually wall you in completely here? Wait a minute. Forge? It's like about that big, right? And the Gateway is like about that big. He might actually block himself in, which is not ideal. I don't know if this is the correct wall here. I guess we'll see. It's got the wrong way as well, which is not helpful. Meanwhile, Napoleon, as always, scouting towards the middle first. Let's actually see if he checks the middle of the map here. We are on Sniper Ridge, of course. Anyway, I'm glad that so far we've had easy to pronounce Chinese players. Heroes, WK, and J-Star. They actually sound quite cool. They could definitely be superheroes, right? I mean, like Heroes, he's already got it in his name. J-Star could definitely be like a Power Ranger. I'd believe it. If he introduced himself to me as J-Star the Power Ranger, I'd high-five him. Anyway, probe guy is gonna come in here. And so the other probe's gonna go back home. He's gonna see it's a 12 hatch. So he will probably... Yep, Nexus first. Oh, look at this, I like this a lot. He got in time to see the 12 hatch, so he cancels the Forge and puts down a 14 Nexus. I love doing that. Yeah, loving that Forge cancel. You have to get a little bit lucky though with the timing. He did send out the second probe relatively early though, so I guess that was why. Whoa! 2 HP left on that probe. That would have been horrendous if he lost the initial probe here. Ay. Anyway, this poor drone looks like he went cross map and is now going to go to the bottom left. Just as the Overlord buddy gets over there. And looks like the Forge has been remade. It's got to be a little bit careful. That pool is actually almost done. Oh man. Is he going to make lings? He's only got 2 larvae though. Okay, he's going to make 4 lings. That's going to be quite close. I think probes are going to have to be pulled here if the lings go straight there. And the thing is, Napoleon sees it with his Overlord, right? So he knows the exact timing. He might actually just run straight over. Is he going to go? I think he should just ignore the probe and just go. Yeah, okay, he's going to leave 1 ling on the probe, and then he's going to go with the other 3. Okay, actually, it looks like the cannon's going to be fine. It's going to be kind of close, but I think it'll be fine. Okay. Wow. You can actually have the forge finish really late. Jesus. Damn. Alright, looks like third base is going to be taken at the 9 o'clock actually, not taking another natural. And looks like, yep, the cannon does finish in time. A few probes pulled just in case. But I mean, it's only 3 lings, so it's not going to be a run by of any sort. You're going to go back and, ooh, they will snipe the probe though, so that's a nice catch. I'm a little bit curious about this third base from Napoleon. Ah, okay, he's going for 3-edge Hydro. Now this isn't necessarily a bust. 3-edge pressure, Hydro pressure into just ecoing up behind is also a very valid strategy nowadays. So let's see whether he decides to go all in with this or not. He is building quite a few drones. So I feel like this isn't going to be an all-in. I feel like this is just going to pressure the front a little bit. And he's going to take advantage of the fact that there's actually 3 buildings as part of this wall. So he's going to get not only the gateway and the forge, but also the pylon for free. Basically, when you do this kind of 3-edge Hydro opening, you're saying that, alright, I'm sacrificing my economy a little bit in the early game, but I'm going to get guaranteed all your wall buildings for free kills. I'm also going to force you to build a lot of cannons, and Protoss usually has to overmake cannons because they're not sure if the Zerg's going all in or not, unless they get lucky with the probe. And then obviously, so the Protoss is going to be delayed because he has to, rebuild stuff that he lost at the front, and he has to make a bunch of cannons, and it basically evens out. And also, even after the Protoss has kind of rebuilt everything, you still have a whole bunch of Hydra sitting outside his base, so he can't really get any units out. And especially on this map, on Sniper Ridge, getting a contain on this ridge outside your opponent's natural is pretty brutal. So if Napoleon can use the early Hydro pressure to keep control of that ridge until he gets lurkers out and manages to get a lurker contained down there, I think he'll basically have won the game by that point. It's pretty brutal to get lurker contained on this map, even more so than most other maps. I like this fairly early Dragoon though by J-Star, going to pick off that Overlord. I think it's a bit of a mistake actually by Napoleon to have that Overlord just chilling out there and not sitting. Actually, there's actually not that much safe ground over here, but I mean, definitely could have just sat over here on top of the natural. I'm actually not sure where he was sitting. But, well, oh, now the Hydra's going to come in here, and oh my goodness, looks like a bit of a misstep here, not quite blocking that in properly. But some probes going to be pulled on. I think that's going to be enough to defend. And, well, Napoleon actually looks like he's going to be quite aggressive here, but doesn't have that many Hydras. Looks like he does have Hydra speed. Does he actually have range? No, he doesn't have range, so that's not going to work. Yeah, he's forcing more probes off the line, but there's no way for him to really bust this, I don't think. He's going to try to pick off what he can, though. He's going to do a good job. Maybe pick off a couple more probes. Not quite. Looks like Hydra range not quite finished, as you can see. More Hydras are coming out. Looks like J-Star, is he going to save this? Yes, is going to save his Corsair at least. And building a bunch of cannons, as I said. It's going to be a bit annoying for him later because he just walled himself in, so he's going to have to kill one of these to get out. But that is 5 cannons. And the thing is, the Hydras can come back. As soon as range finishes, he can just start picking these off. This +1, actually, that's going to be quite crucial. If Napoleon can pick that off before +1 finishes, that'll be really, really nice. And range has finished now. He's actually going in with the Hydras. That's too many cannons, I think. He's going for it, but I don't really think that's the best idea. He's got... he's losing some more Hydras. Yeah, it's really not going to work. I really think he should just sit back and pick off these buildings now and macro up behind this. He is making more Hydras. I really don't think that's necessary. His drone count is really not very good, in fact. He's getting a lair, though. Okay, actually, his main saturation is not bad. But his third and his natural are really quite low. He's getting another hatchery here at the third base. So the Corsair just poking around here. This Corsair, by the way, is absolutely vital. A lot of Protoss players, when they see the early Hydras, they freak out and they're like, oh my god, I don't want to make a Corsair. But actually that Corsair gives you very vital information, because as I said before, since there's so many Hydras at the front, you can't really get any probe scouts or anything like that. Your only scouting right now is going to be from a Corsair. So you really want to keep that alive and see, is the Zerg making more Hydras? Is he droning up behind this? Do I need more cannons to defend the all-in, or can I just get my own infrastructure up? And it looks like the forge will go down before +1 finishes. This looks like there's only 2 guys on this gas. Is that the case? That definitely looks like 2 guys on gas, which is very, very bad for J-Star. Definitely want all the gas you can get here at this early point in the game. At any point in the game, really. Gas is never a bad thing in PvZ. If you have too much gas, just make a couple of Archons and you're... well, that solves that problem. In the meantime, looks like Napoleon has droned up quite nicely. He's got a decent drone count now. His lair is finished. Getting lurker aspect. Is that +1 or +2? Okay, looks like that's +1 attack. And looks like the third is getting saturated as well. And the thing is, as I said before, once this lurker aspect finishes, if he's still holding this ridge, just makes a bunch of lurkers here, burrows on this ridge, and how does Protoss actually leave here? Because because look at this. This architecture is the absolute worst for getting contained. Because not only is there a ridge here, but also the Protoss choke starts out narrow, and then it gets wide when you're attacking up the ramp. So basically the Zerg gets a super big arc with a lot of space, and the Protoss is attacking out of a very small area into a big firing range. So it's just like really, really tough for the Protoss to break out here if that gets set up. Has he put third guys on gas here? That's really painful. Ay. Anyway. Looks like Spire is on the way at the natural. And it's like Robo just now going up, cannon in the main. That's actually a peculiar cannon timing. Looks like wow, High Templar here as well. Looks like J-Star might be slightly scared of a Muta switch from Napoleon, and that's not uncommon in ZVP to go for a slightly delayed Muta timing in the mid game here. But that's not actually what's going on. Now, Other Course is going to reveal what's actually going on. He's going to see a good number of Hydras. DT just chilling out here. Looks like it's taking a bit of damage, but no kills on it. And looks like a bit of engagement at the front. Not sure what's going on there. Maybe he just ran in to try and pick up High Templar or something, but whoa! These Zealots going to take a lot of damage from the Lurkers. Oh my god, J-Star, I think was just not paying attention there. He might have been microing the Corsairs or something. But man, I mean, at least he is going to save most of the Zealots and get them out on the map. Now, this is quite an annoying thing for the Zerg to deal with. Protoss a lot of times will do this when they're contained, because the speed laws can actually just tank a bit of damage, run out of the contain. And the thing is, if Zerg is overcommitted to the contain, it doesn't have enough to defend at home, this kind of thing can do a lot of damage. But in this case, it looks like Napoleon is going to have plenty of units here to defend. I don't think it's going to do too much here. Yeah, more Hydra reinforcements coming in here. Interestingly, +1 armor is done for the Zealots, and no +1 attack. Usually, of course, you see +1 attack first, but oh man, the Corsairs is going to suicide. What are they doing? What? Is something going on here that I'm not seeing? Or did J-Star just suicide all his Corsairs? Well, that was not ideal. What's over there? Oh, it's just an Overlord. Alright, meanwhile, it looks like J-Star now going to kill his own cannons to get out, but this Lurker container is getting set up. Napoleon needs to get these Hydras over ASAP though, because if the Lurkers are just by themselves, there's actually not that many Lurkers, so J-Star can still actually break this relatively easily. But once all the support units are there, that's going to be very, very difficult. Oh man, he's got primarily Zealots in his composition as well. Just unable to afford very many Dragoons because he's missing... okay, now I need to D&D. It's getting annoying. Because he's missing the gas from the third guy on the gas. And look at this. He's got no gas. He's got like 2 Dragoons, 3 Dragoons. Does he have Dragoon range? He doesn't even have Dragoon range. I don't think he can break out of this anymore. I think there's too many Lurkers. Where did the Hydras go? Oh, he snipes the first Observer! He gets it. I didn't see that die, but I heard the sad sound, the sad melody of an Observer. Holy shit. Drones are gone! Drones are dead. There's only actually 1 High Templar in there. I wonder how many kills it has. I gotta click around faster here. I need like more observing APM. Uh-oh. There we go. Here's the break though. Here's the break. He's gonna get the other Observer. He does get the other Observer. Man, this is so annoying. So even though J-Star going to pick off a couple of these Lurkers, Napoleon doing a good job. Looks like a few Zealots though are going to run out the side though, sneak around this secondary exit at the back and maybe go do some more damage. Is there anything here? There's a few Hydras here. If the Zealots come over here to the third, they could do a lot of damage this time. Meanwhile, there's no Scourge actually coming over here. Oh, there we go. He's found the Scourge. He's going to take care of that shuttle. It's actually interesting that J-Star is just leaving it next to an Overlord. Bye-bye. Yoink. So Zealots are going to run out. Looks like a few Hydras and Lurkers repositioning. I don't know why he's bringing all these Lurkers. That's a little bit of an overreaction here, and that's actually going to put him out of position here for the main contain. And yeah, very nice job by J-Star actually distracting Napoleon with those Zealots around the side and forcing a lot of units out of position, so the rest of the army was able to break out of the contain. So J-Star actually breaking out of the contain relatively easily. That's actually really surprising. I think that's just a big mistake by Napoleon to let that happen. Really overreacting to those Zealots that were running out. And now he's got a bit of an awkward position with these Lurks. I mean, it's still not bad. Still got a good, decent army, but he's got to be very, very careful now. He's flooding out a few more Hydralisks. He's not got Overlords in position to pick off those Observers, and now it looks like J-Star's army is going to move around the north side here. This also does open up, of course, the 9 o'clock expansion for J-Star to take. Looks like just a couple of overlords there spotting. Nothing to deny that. And now Napoleon, who is investing quite a bit in that contain, has got to deal with this big Protoss army walking around the map. And he's got a few lurkers here outside the Protoss base, but they're not in position to defend his own third base. So this might actually, I think Napoleon might actually lose his third base. I don't know if he's going to defend or if he might just try and counterattack into the natural here. I mean, there's a decent number of cannons though from the earlier Hydra pressure, so that might not be the best idea. And here we go, the Protoss army moving in. Looks like Napoleon is kind of fiddling around in the middle of the map. Looks like, yeah, he is going to bring his units back to defend, but he might lose a few of these hatcheries, might lose most of these drones before that happens here. That's going to be really bad, and he's going to be attacking to a choke point. Oh man, the storm's going to be brutal here. Oh man, Napoleon just running through this choke. Now the tables have turned, but it looks like he's just got so many units it might not matter. The Zealots not quite in position to buffer for the Dragoons, and here we go, the units are pouring in. There's actually not that many High Templar here. Looks like J-Star actually just targeting down the hatcheries with the units. He knows that he doesn't have enough army to actually engage the Zerg's forces head on. So he's just trying to take down what he can here, but there goes the rest of his army. He did take down 2 of these hatcheries, so it's going to be a bit of long-distance mining here for the Zerg for a little bit. Meanwhile, J-Star macroing decently here, got a few more, actually not really, he had 1,400 minerals there for a second. He's got a probe coming along. I don't know what the hell that's doing. It's probably just hotkeyed that with his army accidentally, but no signs of taking this third base yet. I'm a little bit surprised that he's not doing that. He's got enough money to, for sure. Should really send a probe over there to take it. I mean, you know, he's got not very minerals left in his main, and his natural, he's got so many probes. Meanwhile, oh my god, he's taking the Zerg's third. What the hell? He's taking the 6 o'clock. Are you kidding me? He's expanding towards the Zerg. He's taking the base that's like right above the Zerg's natural. Oh my god, J-Star is crazy. He was taking the third. He's just not taking the third that I thought, but oh my god, that's so many lurkers. Storm it! Storm it! Ah, Storm! Oh, great Storm, but he didn't get a second one off to finish off those lurkers. And now he's got an almost entirely Zealot force that's just trapped by these lurkers. No way for him to break out. Oh man, he's just going for it, but that's going to be so painful. But he needs to hold on to this position though, because he is taking the third base there. Oh man, he has to back up now, but he's just under siege from every angle here. Of course, Napoleon can have such a short reinforcement route to go and attack this base. There's no way he can hold this base, right? I mean, yeah, it's just not even going to be close. Napoleon with +2 attack now done, by the way. It looks like +2 armor and +1 attack. This is quite funny. Upgrades for the Protoss. Meanwhile, Napoleon has gotten his 4th base here at the top right natural. Looks like no signs of hive tech yet, but he doesn't need it. Actually, no, he does have a Queen's Nest here at the natural. I'm sorry. But yeah, he can just stay on their tech, and that'll be absolutely fine. Looks like 5 Dragoons and a Zealot. Hit squad gonna maybe try and come up here, snipe this hatchery. But if these lurkers finish, that'll be pretty easy to defend. Looks like he doesn't even need the lurkers actually. Well, he's gonna try and kill a few drones. And now looks like going to re-expand here to the 9 o'clock base. This is really what he should have done earlier. I have no idea why he decided to attack the 6 o'clock. I mean, the principle of, you know, attacking or expanding along your attack path mainly only applies to Terran. I can maybe... No, I mean, I really can't see a good argument for doing this in PvZ, especially when you're already a little bit behind and your army is not that strong. That seems very, very risky. Anyway, looks like now he's just going to play a little bit defensively here, just abuse this nice position, defend this. I don't really think Napoleon can attack into this, and he really shouldn't. Yeah, looks like he's just going to set up some lurkers outside this. And even if he lets J-Star get this 3rd base up, it doesn't matter. His 4th base is already up and mining. He's got plenty of drones here, and he's in good shape here. His hive is halfway done. He's getting his upgrades along. Looks like getting yet another base here at the 6 o'clock, taking this base that J-Star tried to take. So he's going to be on 5 bases pretty quickly. While the Protoss just getting up his 3rd. They transfer 1 billion probes here. It looks like J-Star didn't have the problem that WK had with probes. Instead, it looks like maybe he has too many probes, considering he's only got basically 1 base with minerals at it. Even if he just distance mines with all his probes, I think he'll get a decent mining income. Let's actually see how many probes there are after this thing goes away. Okay, that's a decent number. Meanwhile, looks like the Protoss army actually though is going to start attacking this 6 o'clock base, but meanwhile there's a counterattack here at the 9 o'clock by Napoleon. More and more units flooding in, and looks like J-Star decides to abandon the attack on the 6 o'clock and bring his army back to defend his last mining expo. He needs this to live, but oh my god, the lurkers are burrowing next to the probes. Those probes are in so much danger. It looks like the lurkers are just barely out of range. The hive is going to take down a lot of them though. The Protoss army is coming in, but most of the probes are probably going to go down here. Oh man, and this Nexus, the Nexus now being targeted. Are they going to get it? I don't think it's enough to get it. He's splitting up the Hydras to try and make sure he doesn't just get them all stormed at once. But it looks like the Nexus will survive with just under 200 HP. So it is in the red, but it did have a little bit of ways to go. But now it's a little bit vulnerable, so Napoleon moves out, or sorry, if J-Star moves out, he does risk another counterattack into that base. Some random sunken colonies going down there at the 9 o'clock. Or sorry, at the 3 o'clock rather. And now the Protoss' army is moving out once again, but this base is completely undefended. I don't know why he would move out at this point. I guess he feels like he has to, but just like a handful of Lings, like these 5 Hydras can go in there and kill the Nexus by themselves. I think that's exactly what they're going to do. Meanwhile, Protoss army coming to the 9 o'clock once again to try and take it down. The Archon gets sniped immediately. Man, the Protoss army is completely scattered here. He's not keeping it together. That's a bit of a mistake here. Oh man, looks like wasting those storms as well. J-Star really not handling this well. However, it looks like he does have enough units here to break through the Zerlings at least, and might actually do some damage to this 9 o'clock base. Sorry, the 3 o'clock base. Misspoke again, but meanwhile, look at this. The Hydras have taken down the 9 o'clock Nexus, and so many units coming in from the back for Napoleon to take this down. Good splitting there, dodging that storm. Not taking too many casualties. Now there's no more High Templar. GG from J-Star, and Napoleon takes it down. 3-0ing Team China. There's one game to go though, or at least one more game to go, depending on whether Team China can take it. Is Napoleon gonna get the all-kill here? He just needs one more win for the all-kill. Are we gonna see some miraculous comeback?